Well, I'm back with another engine. We're going to try this again. It was on Facebook Marketplace the other day, and another 283 came up for sale. But this one's a Corvette engine, supposedly. We're going to tear into it and see what kind of a piece of junk I bought this time. Not that the other engine was that bad, but it wasn't exactly what I expected it to be, so we're going to tear apart this one. See if it's worth the crap. Maybe I can make one out of two. Who knows? Hopefully. If not, I guess I'll be searching some more. But really, I need to stay off of Marketplace because I keep buying stuff that I really don't need. That's stuff I think I might use, but who knows. Eventually I might use some of it. Alright, let's have a look-see at what I got here. Supposed to be a Corvette engine. At least that's what the valve covers say. Somebody kind of screwed that one up, put a hole in it. Kind of makes it not worth so much. Here's the other one. This one doesn't have any holes in it. Somebody screwed it up. It's got a hole there. The starting of a hole there. I'm not sure what happened, and it's cracked right there. So maybe my good deal ain't as good as I thought it'd be, and they smeared some silicone inside. Stop the oil from leaking. I believe the original Corvette ones, they got a part number in them. Maybe you can see that on camera. We're going to start tearing this apart. The guy said it ran. He didn't know anything about it. It was in a 57 Chevy that he had traded years ago. He said he drove it some. Supposedly it's good, I don't know. Maybe it's been rebuilt, maybe it's punched 100 over, who knows. Anyways, I'm going to go grab my tools. We're going to start ripping her apart. Actually, I guess we could look at the casting number on it. Hopefully you can see that. And the date on it is 66. I looked up the code on the front. It is WA, which comes up as, I want to say 62 to 65 pickup motor. Doesn't say anything about 66 or 7, but obviously it's a 66 or 7 by the casting number and the date. So don't believe everything you read on the internet. Alright, got the camera set up here and we'll start tearing this apart. Take out the intake first. Let's get this chain out of the way. I think somebody's already had the intake off. All the bolts are pretty much out of it. Should be loose. Maybe. There she goes. Oh, that's heavy. Forgot how heavy a cast iron intake is. From what I can see, it doesn't look too terrible down in there. The normal greasely engine. Does have the breather deal in it still. Oh well, we're going to take this cylinder head off and see what we got. Get this camera back up. Got a socket in here yet, that one should work. Now they got some crap on it. That should be all the bolts, and the head came up. The push rod's pushing up on it, lifters or whatever you want to say. So you can get that baby off. Grab my breaker bar, not a hammer. Hopefully this ain't stuck on there as good as the other one was, but it looked like it did move. There she goes. So far, so good. Does have antifreeze in it, that's a plus. Yeah. We have sinkage in the valves and the exhaust, so obviously they're running it. Unleaded fuel. I'd say that board don't feel too bad. Feels a hell of a lot better than the other one. Who knows if this one's been punched or not either. Just a little tiny slight ridge. Nothing too terrible. Hopefully I'm not blocking the view. I don't see any markings on the pistons, but that don't mean it hasn't been bored. I think we'll go grab the dial calipers, give her a measurement. Alright, got my dial caliper, and I'm going to measure the cylinder. We'll see what she measures. Although it's kind of hard to see on camera. Yeah, I can tighten her down here. This is the rough measurement. We have pretty much 3.875, which is what a stock bore on a 283 is. So that has never been bored, which is good. Zoom back out here. What I was hoping to do is take the 30 over forged pistons out of the other block and put in this one, punch it 30. If the pistons are any good in it, I haven't taken it apart yet. Actually, the bore on this one really don't feel that bad. Maybe it could be running standard again. Really don't feel that bad. But who knows what kind of shape the pistons are in either. So, almost looks like it has a steel shim gasket on it, which I believe it does. Maybe this engine has never been apart before. Yeah, you got a steel shim gasket on it. Which is a sign that maybe it's never been apart before. But who knows. But I was looking at the cylinder head. But that exhaust valve is sinking. That one's up fairly decent. That one's up real good. That one's even starting to sink. I'd say that one maybe just a hair. But that one's definitely sunk. So those heads need some work. I was thinking about using some newer 305 Vortec heads on it. I'll set up the camera on this side and we'll pull this cylinder head off. Time to remove this cylinder head. Got some crap on it too. All the bolts are out. Now see if we can get her loose. You came right off. Hopefully that side's as good as this side was. Bolts on the ground too. Another steel shim gasket. I'm pretty sure this engine's never been apart. Cylinder head looks better on this side. I don't really see any sunk valve. The bore's really nice in this block. Maybe just run it standard again. For being a 283, usually most of them are wore out. This one feels real good. I mean, there's just slightly a ridge there, but it's not. I've ridged ream blocks and rear-ringed them. Ran way worse ones than this, but my idea is if I build this Puma S10, I want it to stay in there forever. At least maybe till I'm dead. Which hopefully is years and years from now, but you never know. But I think this is the block I'm going to use. I'd say it was a better buy than the other one. But when you're buying used stuff, you never know what in the heck you're going to get. We'll have a look at this other cylinder head, which actually looks pretty good. The valves, for the most part, aren't sunk on this one. Usually exhaust will sink before the intakes will, but I have seen intake valves sink too. But they don't have hardened seats in them, so they're not much good for unleaded fuel. Unless you have hardened seats stuck in them. I did that before, and I've kind of noticed on these older heads, if you put a seat in them, sometimes they like to crack. Because after you cut the area out around them, the casting gets thin up in there. I don't know if you can see that down in there, but to me that looks really good. Zoom in on her. It's a little too much. Want the glare. Dang it, wrong way. That bore feels real good. I think we could just ridge ream her just a little and run her standard again, depending on what the pistons look like. As long as the skirts don't have excessive wear to them. Although new pistons aren't that expensive. And then you get into where they're made at. Some of that stuff they make these days ain't worth a crap. But I'm gonna see if this turns over. Just sitting up level. I'm gonna take the old breaker bar and see if I can get it to turn over. Can't even talk today. It should turn over by the bolt up here. Yep, there she goes. Looks like there's been some moisture in that cylinder. Might have been just from the other night, because it rained a little bit and I didn't have the cylinder head covered up on this side and the spark plugs weren't in it. But we'll turn it over a few times, maybe it'll get the moisture out of it. At least try to. Getting a little moisture in this front cylinder too. That block's in real good shape. I don't know what the crankshaft's like, but if it's as good as the bore, maybe you can just do a re-ring and a bearing and not have to grind the crank or punch the block. I'm pretty impressed with that. Oops, kick the camera. That part is I got the other engine on the engine stand. Which I still need to take the pan off it and check it out, but I think this is the winner. That's probably what I'm going to use. But the only thing I need to find is some 0.5 Vortec heads. And we should be in business. But I need to finish working on the S10. Get it to where it's roadworthy so I can drive it a bit and see what kind of shape it's in. Like I said, I don't know what to think about the engine in it, but that's the backup plan. I was looking at the steel shim head gaskets and I found this on it. Hopefully that'll... Where's it at? Right there. Hopefully you can see that, but it says GM on it. So, I believe that has never been apart before. Not that that really means anything, but sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I say it's good because a lot of times you get people fingering stuff and they screw stuff up. But I guess that is now my job, right?